Hello and welcome friends, I'm Smita Katti from the blog Smiling Colors, and today I am doing a paint by number kit along with you. This is not my first paint by number kit video, and the first one had all of my tips for completing a paint by numbers kit and enjoying it in the process. The second video is one in which my daughter and I try to add glitter instead of paint to the paint by number kit to make it snowy and sparkly. In today's video, I'm just going to be trying to answer all of the questions that you've asked me in my previous posts. So the paint by number kit that I'm doing this time, I bought it at Michael's. It's the Artist Loft brand poinsettia design. It's perfect for the holidays. I love the flower theme. I would always recommend that you do a design that you really enjoy. So the first question a lot of you have asked me is, how do you keep the paint by number canvas flat? Do you iron it? I just cut open a shipping box that I'd received. I'm using cardboard box. You can use like a poster board if you don't have a cardboard box. And what I do is I make it large enough to fit the canvas and I tape the canvas down using some tape. I'm just using regular clear packaging tape for this. I make sure to tape all of the corners down neatly, and that's it. I don't iron the canvas. The canvas will still be a little wrinkled, but that's okay because as you add paint to it, it actually all just looks uniform and it turns out pretty neat. Another question that got asked a lot is that should you paint the light or the dark colors first? I start painting with the pinks actually because pink makes me happy. The thing is, these are all acrylic paints and it doesn't really matter if you start with the darker or the lighter colors. I would say start with the color that is the most prominent on your canvas and do maybe the background last. For this canvas, I just started at the beginning. I skipped one because the one was white. I just went 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all the way till the end, and then I came back and added the ones. You guys, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like this paint by number, the print on it is really light. But even in daylight, I find it difficult to see the numbers. They're just so tiny and faint, if that makes sense. So my hack this time has been that I'm using my phone. I just pull up my phone and I turn on the flashlight and I aim it where I'm painting and I paint over it. I hope that helps. A long-term solution is to use a light close by, any kind of task light, and I don't like tripping over the power cord, so what I actually do is I use a backup charger that we have a power bank, and then I use the light connected to it. It's very handy, easy to use, and there are no cords. Next question is, do you dip your paintbrush in water? What do you mean by using a dry brush? How do you change colors? So I just dip my paintbrush into the paint, pick up a scoop, and start painting. I don't have a bowl of water on the side. I don't recommend using any water while doing this paint by number canvas. Now when I'm moving between colors that are pretty similar, I had like 6 pinks, I would just swipe the paintbrush on the side of the bottle and then go to the next color. There might be a slight color contamination, but honestly in the end, who's going to see it on the canvas, right? So I would just move from one color to another. But if I'm going to a color that's completely different, I will use a paper towel, wipe my paintbrush thoroughly until there are really no stray color on it, and then use this dry brush to paint. At the end of my session, I will wash it under running water. Make sure to keep your brush nice and sharp, and then I let it dry completely before bringing it back to the canvas. Next question, have you tried thinning out your paints with water? My answer is actually opposite of it. Instead of thinning my paint, I lay on a thick layer of paint. I actually give a lot of texture because when it dries, I really don't want it to be transparent and I shouldn't be able to see the numbers underneath it. Not only that, I feel like the paint looks better when it's a little bit thicker. So I started painting this kit by myself and I loved how my daughter slowly gravitated towards it. Every night if I sat down to paint, they would come and ask, "Mommy, can I paint with you?" And it was the best time ever. They would just chat with me and it was so relaxing. Next question, are these paint by number kits fun? They look very detailed. So my answer is yes, these are very detailed, but they are also very fun. I painted an intermediate level here. This is really fun because you're not doing any of the color decisions. Everything's been made for you. You just pick up the number 16 and then you paint the number 16. You go to the next number and then you fill in that area. It is super satisfying and I highly recommend this for anyone who's looking for a creative break. So many of you have asked me what to do with the paint that dries up. I've never had any of my paint dry up, but this one really is thick today. I'm not able to spread it with my paintbrush. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm taking some bottled water. I'll add a few drops of this to my paint, stir it, and hopefully that should work. If your paint has dried to a cake, I would recommend that you just add a few more drops of water, let it sit overnight, and see if that works. Another question, how long does it take for the paint to dry in a paint by numbers? I would say it takes about 10 to 15 minutes, which is why I like to work from the left top corner and work my way downward so that I don't place my hand on wet paint accidentally. So I've finished almost all the colors in this area. All I need to do is add the number 1, which is a white. Now when you're painting lighter colors, you can always kind of see the printed number underneath. And here is a hack that you guys shared with me. You use your gel pen to then go over the number and kind of block it. You want to scribble over it till you can't see the number anymore, and then paint over it with your color. And here is my finished paint by number kit. I enjoyed painting this and I made a habit of it. Every day after dinner, I would sit and paint for 10-15 minutes. Another question was, how do I attach the frame to the finished paint by numbers? For this, I let the paint by number canvas dry for 24 hours. Then I trim the sides off with a sharp pair of scissors. I just eyeball it and draw a straight line in my mind and cut along it. The frame comes with 4 wooden pieces and these brads or screws. What you want to do is lay 2 of the pieces for the bottom and then simply align the canvas along it. You might need to trim off a little bit of the canvas from the bottom, and then all you need to do is pierce through the canvas with that screw that they've supplied. It actually is pretty easy. You don't need any tools. I just do it with my fingers. You just want to be careful to make sure that the 2 wooden pieces are aligned and this canvas piece that we've painted is sandwiched in between. Flip it over and add the backs and you're done. You similarly do the same thing to the top. The top part has the hanging portion as well. And again, make sure that you're keeping everything in a straight line, and it's pretty easy. And another question a lot of you have asked is that, do I like the frame that's included in the kit? For the price, I think including a frame at all is really great. It is a simple frame, but it works beautifully and it looks good. I have also used a better frame for this. I've used an IKEA frame for another one of my paint by numbers, and that's another option. If you're shopping on Amazon, they have magnetic frames which are really easy to use, and you can switch out the canvas easily if you're doing a lot of paint by numbers. I have a bag here where I've been collecting all of my leftover paint, and I think it's time now to make a craft out of it. Let me know in the comments below if you save your paint as well. So there you have it, friends. Those are all of my paint by number tips, FAQs, everything that you've been asking. Let me know in the comment section below if you are painting a paint by number kit right now, and if you have any more questions for me, I want to discuss anything else, let me know in the comment section as well. In the description box, I will leave a link to my blog post which has so much more information. It has links to other kits and frames and other ideas that I have for paint by number kits, so make sure to check that out as well. Other than that, happy holidays, and I'll see you guys soon with another video. Happy crafting, friends.